Greetings. I'm sure by now each one of us has had some program or appointment cancelled or postponed due to COVID-19. That's just the times we are living in. They are strange and unique. And the Bible tells us about an appointment that we cannot miss, that will never be postponed, that will never be cancelled. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27 tells us that in as much as it is appointed for men to die once, and after this comes judgment. And so Christ also, having been offered once to bear the sins of many, will appear a second time for salvation without reference to sin to those who eagerly await him. You see, there's an appointment, a divine appointment set by God, appointed by God, that each one of us will have to face. And it is coming, it is certain, it is guaranteed. And I'd like us to see three things from this passage, friends. Number one is that we all have a certain death. We will all die. It is inevitable. It cannot be avoided or delayed. It is determined by God himself. There's a time and season for everything, a time to be born and a time to die. But we also see a guaranteed judgment. Those who die will face a holy God. And they will face God in judgment. They will give an account for how they lived their entire life, for every second, minute, and hour. And this judgment is going to be final. It is going to be fully. It is going to be faithful. And it will be forever. You die, you face your certain guaranteed judgment by the all-knowing holy God. That is a guarantee. And for many, that could be a sign, a source of anxiety, a source of fear. Because you when you imagine facing a holy, righteous God in judgment, that is bound to fill you with terror, but it ought not to be so. Because you see, in the context, the writer of Hebrews is actually telling us of a good news, of a way of escape, if you may, a way we can look forward to God's judgment, and that way is Jesus Christ. He's talking of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, a sacrifice that Christ offered for the sins of men once for all. His sacrifice was fully and his sacrifice was final, and it was accepted by God. When Christ died on the cross, he died in the place of sinners. He bore the sins of men, and the wrath of God was poured on him in our behalf, or on our behalf. And yet those who deny Christ and the work and his sacrifice, they stand condemned. They have a reason to be terrified of this appointment of death and judgment. So my encouragement to each one of us, dear friends, is to trust in Jesus Christ for the forgiveness of our sins because of his sacrifice on the cross. And when you do that, you eagerly await his return.